All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I'd be back. And Merry Christmas, everybody. All right, sorry about that. Lurker, let's pause this real quick. Back out of there. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hope everybody's having a good Christmas Eve. Oh, now Christmas now. Technically, we're just returned to Christmas, so where I'm at. So now we can give out your gift. So I'm almost not going to do a solo report tonight because I'm so anxious to give you guys your gift. But there has been some activity here, so we have to get into this first here real quick. December 24th, 2023. Okay, and here's our activity today. Let me just position this a little better for you guys. And there we go. Huge blast off the top. This one down here looks mighty suspicious. We have another one on this side, and that huge one right there, and then the sun diving comet as well. All right, so let's wow, where to start? Okay, so let's just start at the beginning, shall we? Okay, opening frames right here. Back up a little bit. Alright, let me position this to where I can use the buttons and you guys can see the most as well. And something's wrong here. I'm too close. There we go. Alright, here we go. You can see our little sun diver coming in over there. Actually, that's not a sun diving comet. That's Santa warming up the sleigh. He's doing a slingshot around the sun, building up speed because he's inbound. So, no, that's our sun diving comet there. And you see it going in, boom, boom, boom. And then we have this little squirt right here. And then, come on, it's coming here somewhere. You have this big blast coming off the top here. And now look at both sides here too. Do you see this round object here with this leaving a shadow through there? Okay, so there's a black round object right there. Right where my little, right here, casting a shadow right there. Alright. You can also see there's another one over here engulfed in plasma. So that one was pretty quick. It was in and out of the frame pretty fast. There wasn't many frames of it. So just kind of go back real quick. All right, as we back up, watch how that shadow follows this object back in. All right, then as we go forward again, it's casting the shadow. As it emerges, there's plasma on the back side of it there. You can't really see it too well on this side, so we're watching over here. Right here, you can see the shadow is kind of removed as it goes away, trailing plasma behind it there. And it's gone out of the screen. Then we have this event. Now, this one is a little different, we'll say. And what I'm going to do is just kind of run it real quick. Okay, at this point here, let me kind of darken this a little bit. We have what appears to be a pyramid-shaped object in this blast right here. It has its magnetic field. There's a pyramid top sticking out of it, and you can actually see the capstone on it illuminated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into this frame right here while we got it here. All right, here we go. Now, pull it over just a little bit better. This is the tip of our pyramid coming up, going down. It's like right here. Boom. And the tip's sticking up through this plasma. And as we put this into motion, you can see the capstone right here. The top is illuminated. Let me go another Oh, cool. Button's right there. So watch as we go back and forth here. This maintains its shape and size the whole way through. All right. And then we have this bigger blast over here. But what I want to do is I want to try to put this in motion while we're here zoomed in. Now watch this thing come out. And I'll let you be the judge of it, but that was mighty suspicious looking. Kind of right there. And let's speed it up a little bit too, because it's the motion that kind of defines it a little better. So we'll let that go. Boom. Can you see that thing? That triangle shaped pyramid to me. Looks like the top of the pyramid. The bottom part of it is down in the plasma still, but the very top is emerging. So you can come over here to this instrument, take a peek for yourself. I'm not saying that there is a pyramid there, but it looks mighty weird. Especially come over here and see it, for yourself here. So I don't think this is doing it justice. But let's back out a little bit. Maybe we're too zoomed in. Yeah, maybe that's the problem here. Anywho, there was that event. Now that's the one that's kind of Earth directed right there. All right, I'm concerned about we're gonna get an impact from this one right here. Okay, with the pyramid thing in it. All right. Now over here is our bigger blast, comes out of this side, and it's got all kinds of plasma and debris in it. Here, let's just pause it when we get there. Boom. All right. Let's slide it down just a tad bit. It's kind of hard to see any of the defined objects in this blast. Whoops, especially when I do that. But you can see it's another bigger blast that's connecting kind of up to this one, or going to be, partially coming our way. It looks. Whoops. Now let's leave it zoomed right there because I want to go forward a couple. Boom. Boom. You can see all this plasma that's taking off with it in black there. Let's go ahead and put this, slow it down, put it into motion, and then I'm going to focus on the red side for this one. Well, it didn't come out very well on that one either, so I'll just come back over to this side. So we have the one off the top, the one off the bottom, and then this big one. There was even a fourth one in there. Okay, so a lot of activity on our sun today for Christmas, all right? And that's kind of how God works. He uses these holidays, especially this one, for signs. And every time you see something happening here around the sun, it's a sign in the sun, all right? Everything is. When you understand how God works, everything is. But that sure looked like a pyramid to me. Here, we'll kind of let that go. One more time there so you can see it. All right. And kind of what appears is Santa went around the back part of the sun, and at perigee right there, it just threw a bunch of toys out, and they all like bounced off the sun and came flying out. There was a pyramid. There was a couple of other toys in there that all came flying out and caused the sun to react like that. All right, so there's your solar report for right now. Let's come on over to the solar ham here, and let's take a peek at our GOES X-ray flux here. Please, all the way. There we go. And you can see our block today right here. Here's our activity. 1, 2, 3. Those are our 3 main blasts right there that we just witnessed, okay? This last one being kind of a little longer duration, not as high in intensity, but a longer duration one. So we had some bing, bing. This is the second one right here that I think is earthbound right there. Then that one was the one that came off the side, okay? We come on down here. Right now, we're not absorbing much. X flare potential is kind of rising up to 5%, M flare to 35. Here's our two M players right here, 2.9 and a 2.6. This 2.6, I think, is the second one. Yeah, should be. Yeah, it looks smaller. Yeah. So we have a 2.6 possibly earthbound, okay, in our direction. All right. We also have this big sunspot region going beta gamma. So the sun's picking up in activity again. All right. Let me zoom back out a little bit so we can read these articles. Don't want that article. I want a KP though. And now you can see we had some fluctuation yesterday. Came back up. We had, KP3, which is kind of normal, really. But then it dropped off again. You see how this just nice, smooth, even tapering down? It's like everything's being suppressed and calmed down. All right, now let me come out of this one. I want to come over here to the auroras right now. Aren't too bad. A little bit after last night, there was a little yellow in one of these for a brief moment. So tiny little bit of yellow. It wasn't much, but we did absorb a tiny little bit. And right now they're nice and faint, which is good because we don't want Santa's sled catching on fire when he penetrates the atmosphere right there. Okay, let's open the tracker now. Now, something I want you to watch carefully here on this. Did you see that? It doesn't show a CME really coming off the sun, but all of a sudden, boom, here it erupts and comes to Earth. All right, so they're showing a little inbound wave of energy right there coming at Earth. I don't know if that's the CME that we just saw, the second one there that looks to be earthbound. It could possibly be. But for right now, this instrument is tracking small pulse, nothing much, but Earth directed. Okay. Let me see if they have anything on this. Oh, yeah, they do. Let's open this up real quick for you. I'm trying to cruise through this so we can spend more time on the spiritual report tonight and the delivering of your gift. All right. Here they're showing a little spike here somewhere, so we're gonna get hit. Let me start this little movie real quick here. I forgot to do that. Is it loading up? There we go. So around the 28th, the tail end of the 27th to the 28th, here comes this little wave coming out right here, clipping the Earth right there. Bing! And I showed you, this is NOAA's, and I showed you the other Enlil spiral. So for right now, that's they're projecting for the 27th, and it came out late on the 24th, plus 3 days. So I agree with this. Late on the 27th, we should probably be getting a small little impact, all right? Not a big old spike. So this is kind of pretty accurate for right now, I think. And let's back out of that one as well. Check out this shot right here that they caught. You can actually see the little round object in here. Can we have this full? Can I click on this one? Oh, it's a little bit better. But look, you see our round spheroid object, plasma on the front right here, the magnetic field grabbing plasma trailing behind it. This is a lot closer to the sun. This actually happened behind the occulter that we're used to looking at, so this is a different angle of one of these little things whizzing by and pulling off this filament. This filament was there, it was all arched, and when this object passed by it, it made it erupt. It took all that filament and grabbed it and tugged it along with it. And there's a great shot of what they don't even know what they're looking at. Literally, this is an awesome shot right here, and they have no idea what they captured, really, right here in the middle. Everybody's looking at the light. I'm looking where the light is missing, all right? And that's because these things absorb light. All right, so there's a great shot. Looks like very similar to the stuff that we're looking at from the other satellites. This is just a lot closer to the surface of the sun. Okay. Here we go. An eruption registering as long duration M1 solar flare was detected from behind the southwest limb. Now, this is not the one I wanted. Okay, let's move on over to the next instrument here. Okay, here's the one I wanted. All right, so something, not much has changed here. They're still talking about how this polar vortex is causing these iridescent clouds up there. Okay, these. All right, now what I want to get to is this large far side sunspot. Now listen closely here. Let me zoom it in so you guys can read as well. See that I am not making this stuff up. Here we go. There is a sunspot on the far side of the sun so large it is affecting the way the whole sun vibrates. I repeat, there is a sunspot on the far side of the sun so large it's affecting the way the whole sun vibrates. Our whole sun is changed vibration. You see what they're saying? In another way, this huge sunspot is affecting the way the whole sun vibrates. All right, okay, I know. I said it 3 times. Hopefully it sunk in. Helioseismologists have pinpointed its echo right here. This active region is about 1 week from rotating onto the Earth's side of the sun. Okay, so about a week away until this monster sunspot rotates around. Now let me back out real quick and hit the link and show you what they're talking about. All right. This is this backside sunspot. This thing's huge. I mean, it's like our biggest sunspot times 3. No wonder why it changed the vibration and frequency of the sun. So, rotating, this monster's on the backside right now. Hopefully it weakens and doesn't gain strength or, even stay the same size. Let's pray that it weakens as it rotates around next week to the to our side of the sun. Okay? All right, let's move on. All right, so here's our Schumann. Let me scooch and slide and all that jive. Try to get some wavy lines out of there a little bit. All right. Just plugging along. You can see we had that's where our little break was. Last night we were reporting right around here. This event had just started. It tapered off a little bit. You can see we had some weakness here at 7.83, but still chugging along with another grinding event starting to happen right here. You can see that we're going into another one of these events. You can tell by the glowing down here, the glowing in the middle. This one especially already turning white. All right, so when we pull back, you can see this event over here that we came out of. All right, so we're probably going to start grinding again here, which is an indicator of pressure building down below. Okay, pressure's building right now. And you see it's causing, we're going into one of these screeching events, and that's going to result in some earthquake activity and some volcano activity. All right, so come on over to the earthquake report. Let's bang this baby out real quick. First of all, close this out. Take a sip. Hey, I see some people with wrenches here. Some new wrenches in there. And little Christmas gifts to my family. I should have done to everybody, but I got to get to know you a little bit first. So, no real deep quake right now to report on, but we still have this 5.4 over here in this little plate boundary. Also 4.6 down at 371, so more like a 5 at the surface. So a couple of 5s right here. Now, we have 4.6 at depth 119, 4.4 at 115, so just a little bit deeper quakes. They're not totally shallow. What? Are we not on frame? What is going on? All right. Let's move on. Here we have 4.6 down at a depth of 232. Some of these quakes indicate a little bit of pressure from down lower, activating. Right here, a 4.8 down at 108. right here, a 4.7 at 64. We come on up here to Taiwan with another one here at this fulcrum point at Taiwan, a 4.6 today at a depth of 10. Now up here by Japan, we had this 5.0 down at 332. All right, so that's a little bit stronger at the surface. That would, be like a 5.1 or 2 or something maybe at the surface. But 5 energy right here by Japan with this one on the other side of the plate, a 4.9. All right, we know what they do with their 0.9s. You know what I do with their 0.9s. All right, so some 5 energy moving through the area. Up here again, at the same spot, we have another 5 at a depth of 27.7. Come across, pinch out the garden hose. 3.1 comes out the other end. 3.4. All right, so 3 to mid-range 3 energy makes it over the hump and comes and lands right here with a 4.0 at Quincy, Washington at a depth of 52.4. So let's go in here. Hello, people of Seattle. You just had a quake in your backyard. A 4.0 down at 52 right there. This Puget Sound area, everybody watch out up there. There's a lot of storms coming that way. All right, so some energy came down through the system, kind of dropped off a little deeper inland, but still managed to squeeze out one right here on the plate boundary on the at 3.3 at a depth of 10 here on the Juan de Fuca there. Then we got this 3.0 right here at a depth of 31, just a little bit inland from our fulcrum point. All right, so that mid-range 3 energy came in and actually dropped off a 4. So it was a little stronger than mid-range 3 and rounded over, dumped off a 4 here, 3 there, and a couple little inland quakes. Not much down the rest of California. They're small. Right here we have a new quake at the Cocos, a 4.2 down at 35.4. And right next to it is a 4.4 down at 35. Releasing energy in this area, it has to get released in here somehow, and I'd much rather see mid-range 4s than something big, okay? What I wanted to do real quick was talk about the position of the location and positioning of these 2 quakes. Real quick over here. This one is a little bit deeper into the shelf. You see this little ledge that runs right in here? This is a plateau and a cliff that drops down to the plate boundary. There's a big crack in the bottom of the ocean floor, kind of, all right? Big trench, or we'll say. And there's a big plateau and a cliff. You see how this one's back from the cliff? But this one is right on the, let me back out just a bit, is right on the edge of the cliff. This is where we don't like to see earthquakes, is right here on the edge of this cliff. They could cause a landslide. Any kind of landslide underwater would send a tsunami that we wouldn't expect, all right? So we got to watch those occasionally, because even a semi, it doesn't even have to be a big quake. If it's on that thing, it could trigger a landslide. So coming on down here, 5.0 down at South Sandwich Islands, 4.8, and another 4.8. So basically 3 5s right here, distributing energy. We have one right here at this plate boundary, mid-sup, the mid-Indian Ridge, a 4.8 right there. So that 5 energy again being released around the plates and even right here in the middle. Okay. We're not going to do a volcano report tonight. Let's just move on over to the weather. Volcanoes have been active. There's lots of them going off. You can go over the volcano site. Let's just get this out of the way here so we can get to that spiritual report. Okay. Whoopsie. Let me just get this to start over again. All right. And let's position this a little bit better so we can see the west coast as well. Okay. Everything in there, you can see the dates and time up here. I'll still call it off though. All right, current conditions right now, the nighttime of December 24th, Christmas Eve, we have severe weather coming onshore from the Gulf into the panhandle of Florida. More like Mississippi, Alabama region, Louisiana, right in that zone right there. Big branch of moisture reaching up right here. Little tiny pockets of possible severe weather, but nothing too bad. Then, as we go into the morning of the 25th, Christmas morning, severe weather still coming up from the coast, or coming up from the Gulf, hitting the coast. Also, northern Mississippi, ice back up here, snow, lots of rain. Another storm hitting the west coast here for Christmas. Then this thing starts to wrap up. You see this intensity ice right here? This is what the cold air scooting over underneath the warm air, and the rain's over the cold air and turns into ice. All right, so we got icing on the backside through Minnesota, even into Iowa, just skirting North Dakota right there during the noontime of Christmas. That's the end of convection, sundown Christmas. We have really intense going on up here in British Columbia, Puget Sound area. All right, let me back up a frame. So watch these guys right here. It starts to get intense by the noontime. Then by sundown, the end of convection, Christmas, we got severe weather up here in the Puget Sound, British Columbia area. Meanwhile, this big monster is still shedding ice right in between these two. Now into South Dakota, North Dakota, and northern Minnesota, with snow on the backside reaching down into, Nebraska, Kansas there. Then as we go into the nighttime of Christmas here, this thing really kind of loses it broadens out. It reaches so far back that it loses a lot of this energy, splits away, and it kind of loses its punch. This is the morning. Let me back up. That's the nighttime of Christmas. This is the morning of the 26th. You see, still severe up here. Little bits coming off the coast into south. Well, not hitting South Carolina now. That'll be the noontime, the 26th. The end of convection, the 26th. Nighttime. Here we go into the 27th, the morning. Just a slight little chance right there. Getting more in the noontime. Same over here on the coast. Then by the end of convection, we have a blossoming right here along Pennsylvania, going up into New York there by the end of convection on the 27th, with this big, nice new storm hitting the whole west coast right here. Then as we continue on, this moves offshore. This is the nighttime of the 27th, morning of the 28th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 29th, noon, convection, nighttime of the 29th, the morning of the 30th, noon, convection, nighttime. So it's basically pretty clear for a while. You see this little load try to drop in there around the 1st, but watch over here as I'm not going to really call off times now because this changes so much, but watch over here what they're predicting for California. Like 3 storms in a row. Watch this. So starting right about here on January 2nd, at the end of convection going into the nighttime, you people in Southern California, get out of there, because watch, from the nighttime of the 2nd into the morning of the 3rd, noon, nighttime, morning of the 4th, here comes another one. Oh no, this is the nighttime of the 3rd still. Morning of the 4th, it hits. That's the noon, convection, nighttime. Here comes another one. Severe weather right here. The nighttime of the 4th. Morning of the 5th, noon, convection, nighttime of the 5th, morning of the 6th, noon, convection, nighttime. Now you see how this low that had come out of here made it up through here. These two air masses collide again here around the 6th. See how they're kind of coming together? This colder air is right around here. We're starting to have icing in the middle, but then it really solidifies and comes together. Severe weather in the middle, possibly on the 6th, going up into the Great Lakes region there by the end of convection, the 7th. No, that's the morning of the 7th there. Noontime, convection, morning of the 8th, noontime, convection, morning of the 9th. Whoops. That's convection of the 8th. Nighttime of the 8th. Morning of the 9th. noon, convection, nighttime. All right, so that's about it. Let me go ahead and replay this loop. You see this? So watch out. We're going to have chances of severe weather. Actually, let's pause that. Go back a little bit. Also here in Florida, watch out. You see how this is stuff's trying to creep up, but watch how it comes up and sneaks into Tampa Bay, Florida there. All right, by the morning of the 25th. All right, so let's go. Boom. Let's see if we can. Okay. Sometimes if it's bad, you guys just holler in the chat. We can't see it, Brian, and I'll adjust it. All right, anyways, back to where we are. Right here, I'm talking the morning of the 25th right here for Florida. Watch out here as this kind of skirts and comes at Tampa Bay here and breaks off a little bit. All right, so watch down here in Florida. You guys up in here, you're going to have some nasty weather too, so let's go ahead and let that play a couple more times real quick while I get our spiritual report together tonight. All right? So, everybody ready to get their gift? Hopefully everybody that's sticking around has watched the previous 12 Days of Christmas countdown thing that I've done. If you haven't, I suggest you don't watch tonight's because it won't make sense. You need to have gone through these dots, these last 12 days of Christmas, where I've been giving a dot each spiritual report to grasp the final, the connecting of the dots. All right. So it looks like we've got just our group. Good. So let me go ahead and get rid of that. We'll keep that and that. Forecast we can get rid of. Where's the music playing from? Right there. We can get rid of that one. Okay, so before we get into this, first of all, let me go over my channel real quick. I forgot to open one more thing. I've been showing you the different things that my security cameras have captured, right? And we've been laying out these dots and everything. And I just want to pull up an image here as we kind of go through these. So what we're going to do is a little review first of all the dots, all right? And in the kind of order that they went in, all right? So you can see all the different dots, and then we'll connect them all together, all right? So here we are at this image right here. This was the little angel that I had shown you before. If you tilt your head to the right, you can see the little legs dangling here, the wings coming off. It's a female. It's got breasts. All right, there we go. Tilt your head to the right. You can see this angel right here hovering over a sleeping child. So now that we have that image up right now, we have to go through all the dots. So first off, a reminder, all of these dots need to be viewed as miracles, hints, and clues in order to see the bigger picture, the hidden bigger picture. So when you realize that these are real images, it's a real angel, okay? These are miracles. This is a miracle as well as a hint and a clue. See, God works in multiple dimensions with multiple meanings, all right? So when you're looking at this angel, I want you to remember that all of these things that I'm about to list are miracles as well as hints and clues. So the first dot was the dragon of Nemesis and Nibiru that I showed you guys. The dragon that showed up 13 days before the star alignment, okay? Just like it said in the prophecy, the dragon stood before the woman, all right? So the first dot is the dragon, which is Nibiru and Nemesis, showing up 13 days before the star alignment. The second dot is the actual star alignment itself. that should have gotten everybody's attention right there. That's God using the stars to speak to everybody, no matter what language. All right, and it was also a celestial signpost. All right, so God uses the heavens to let you know you just passed a celestial signpost. Well, when you see a signpost on the road, it usually indicating a path. The sign says the path goes this way or it splits and goes that way. So sometimes signposts can indicate that you're on a path. All right. Now, after the star alignment, about 11 days later, the Revelation baby was born in my house. All right. It was out in my garage, kind of like a manger, like a little unit off of the main house. All right. And that's where my security camera captured the Revelation 12 baby being born in my garage there, in my home, basically. That's my home, part of my home. All right. Then after that, 11 days, the very next day, we had Mary, an angel, and the God Eye show up on my security cameras when I was sitting there praying. That was actually an anointing ceremony. When you think about it and look back, that was an anointing ceremony. Then the fifth dot was all the angels, like this little angel right here, for instance, that I've shown you. The angels that were there with Mary, or the angel that was there with Mary. I also showed you the angel at the foot of my bed. And I also showed you angels bowing in front of me, okay? So, then the sixth dot was the demons attacking my bike, lifting up my bike, and Satan attacking me, okay? Spitting fiery darts at me that actually did some damage, okay? Then the seventh dot was the angel at the foot of my bed throwing what appeared to be a halo at me. When I went back through and found one of those frames, I zoomed in on the halo and it had spikes on it. It was a crown. It wasn't a halo. It was actually a crown. Then the eighth dot, I showed you how the etherical realm that we were capturing in the security cameras has now moved to the clouds. So the etherical realm right here, the spiritual realm, moved to the clouds. That's the eighth dot. Then the ninth dot, I showed you all the different faces that follow me, watch me, and study me. The 10th dot are all the UFOs that follow me, watch me, and study me. The 11th dot was the ascended masters, like Yoda, that follow me, watch me, and study me. Number 12 was the advanced races from the past, and little flying machines or whatever, that follow me, watch me, and study my every move. Okay? Everywhere I go, I got faces in the clouds, UFOs, ascended masters, and advanced races from the past that follow, watch, and study my every move. Okay? The 13th dot was Jesus' heart projecting my face in the clouds. That was a little different. And it was actually, his heart was projecting my face with a crown on it. Then, also in that 13th dot, was the clouds mimicking me taking pictures of them. All right? So then our 14th dot was Jesus in the clouds captured on Easter, turning into that lion face wearing a crown. All right? The 15th dot was that God, what we watched last night, God's face in the clouds spitting lightning. Okay, that face I have seen in over my house and in other locations many times, just not spitting lightning. Just I've seen that face. I haven't captured it, but that face is a real one. It's the face of God. All right, and there's already spiritual events taking place. Okay, now with all of those that we kind of rehashed there, those were all the dots leading up to this final dot now that connects them all, okay? How are we going to do this now? This is the hard part. All right, so before I start this video, this is going to be a little disturbing for some, okay? I'm going to give you a little warning. It might be disturbing for some. Also, if you don't see the bigger picture or you don't get it, then maybe you need to go back and re-study all the dots that led up to this one, okay? Because this video right here is going to be the final dot that connects them all and paints the bigger picture, okay? So here we go. Let me get sound and everything set up here. Oh.
Welcome to my video. My name is Brian Knight, and I've been struggling with this for a while on how to do this video. So please bear with me here. So first off, I want you to look at my ID here.
All right.
So you know who I am, I say I am.
Okay, hang on for a second. Before we get into this, all of these things, all of these events, all this spiritual stuff is happening to me because of who I am.
I want you to take note of the date of birth. March 24th, 1970. That's 3 days after spring. Jesus resurrected 3 days after spring. The real Easter is March 24th. In this famous painting here...
Before we go, this thing with March 24th, okay, man's calendar was made on a Gregorian calendar. They changed months, they changed the shape of the calendar, the length of a week and a month. Now all of a sudden, Easter's the second Sunday after a full moon, and it's never the same day on the calendar. God uses celestial alignments as mile markers, as celestial signposts. Spring, Jesus is the spring, okay? He's where rebirth comes from, okay? Spring is the rebirth, the season of rebirth. It's just Jesus is how am I trying to say this? Lord help me. Jesus is the spring. He was executed, crucified, the first day of spring, which is a vernal equinox, all right? That is God's way of using a moment in time as a reference point, because it all says 3 days later. Well, we all know he rose 3 days later, but 3 days later from what? From what day? From which day, huh? Well, it was from the first day of spring, March 21st. You add 3 plus 21, you get 24. All right, let me continue on with this here. Come on, Lord, help me. It's not working.
The Roman soldier piercing Jesus' heart with a spear. Now, what he didn't know is that the heart is on this side over here. But he stabbed him on the right-hand side. So, and then I'm going to show you another painting.
Sorry, this was before I had a tripod.
Okay. They didn't have cameras back then. Sorry, it's shaky. Okay. They didn't have cameras back then to take pictures of this, so artists painted what they saw. So,
all right, I want you to note the positioning of this wound, okay? It's not down here in the stomach. It's on his side. It's between the second and third rib from the top down. It's on the side, okay? Then I want to back out of this for a minute. Hold that thought for a second. Where is it? Okay, so when I was recording all these angels and stuff. What I haven't told you yet, and what a lot of you might know, is angel means messenger as well. Not only did these angels show up on my cameras, but one of them came with a message. And it was a weird message that I was a little shocked at. A little weird. So, are you guys ready for this one? This angel told me that my birthmark was a mortal wound I suffered in a previous life. And I told him I don't have a birthmark. And he says, your birthmark is a mortal wound suffered in a previous life, and you need to look at your birthday. So now I just showed you my birthday. Okay? Now, what I want to talk to you about is this birthmark situation. Now, I wasn't a big believer in this stuff. When I first heard this angel say this, I was like, that's a little weird, but kind of makes sense. Described to me as the spiritual scar in your spirit, okay? And if you died a brutal death, and, say if you were shot, you would have a birthmark, a round brown birthmark of a gunshot wound, all right? Now, this doctor here, James G. Matlock, is PhD doctor, okay? I'll put this link in the description. You can come over here and watch this. This one doesn't have all the different birthmarks showing them what means what. You can go look those up as well. But this is an accredited doctor who noticed something going on a long time ago with children. Before children are influenced, they're talking about having a previous life and their birthmarks corresponding with literally bodies they dug up, or the children took them to the site saying, this is where I was buried. They dug up the body, and the body had the exact death wound right where the birthmark was. All right, amazing stuff. Here they refer to it as reincarnation. So be careful in this field. I suggest you don't dabble in this. All right, but it's more than reincarnation in this case. All right, so apparently these birthmarks are a spiritual scar on your spirit that follows your spirit, and when your spirit incarnates into a meat suit, you get the birthmark of your mortal wound. So, like, if you got stabbed, you would have a stab wound. If you got shot, you would have a gunshot wound. And there's ones with actual red, like red skid pigmentation of where the blood flew out of the wound. All right, so there's several examples. This is where we're going to lose some of you people, but it's something the angel told me, and when I went and researched it, I found out some of it to be true. And here's a accredited doctor that you can come over and listen to this anyways. Now, as we get back to this now, I'm coming back to here. All right, continue on here.
Record. So, I've seen these. This one more time. Okay, so you know a little bit of history of what's going on here. Then, psychics have learned that a mortal wound suffered on your body in a previous life comes back on your next body as a birthmark. And this is the birthmark that I have on the side of my chest.
You know what I mean?
I'll show you a different image here too. There it is again. Okay, come on, camera. Okay. Okay. There it is again. Just to prove that this is me, I'm going to go over here. Like this. we go. I showed you demons
Well,
and Satan.
Here we go.
Maybe if I did it like this. There it is. See? That's the mark. Alright? So, I showed you Mary and angels in my garage. I showed you demons and Satan in my garage. I'm showing you the Nemesis system with Nibiru. Showing you all this evidence. Now, I'm showing you the mark. Now, I'm a humble man. I don't like to go around proclaiming stuff like this. So I'm going to leave it up to you to make your decision. But I feel that it's time that the world knows what's going on and who I am. So you're seeing with your own eyes here the evidence that I have. And this has been hard for me to do this video. I've been struggling with it for a while, how to do this and what I'm going to say. So please understand and just bear with me. I'm just a regular man, but some strange stuff's been going on in my life. If you've seen any of my other videos, you need to go back and watch Nibiru is Real first, then God Snapshot second. The third video is Mary and the Angels. The fourth video was Hep. Alright.
Alright. In the shape of a stab wound. I also have 2 little round birthmarks on the top of the middle of my feet. That, right in the same spot. Where they should be. So, now we got a little bit more. So where's the other notes now, Lord? Okay. So, where did I start it at? Okay. So, with this birthmark, has other meanings too. Alright? Where's my pointer? The shape of it is a stab wound. There are 3 faces in it as well. I'll put the link to this so you can come over and watch the regular video without me trying to play with the screen. Okay? There are 3 faces in this, in one birthmark, alright? The birthmark also indicates that I was alive, I was killed, I was dead, but now I'm alive again. You understand? I was alive, I died, and I'm alive again. That birthmark indicates, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm the one who was alive and died and is alive again. Forevermore. That's the other part that I had here. I'm also the person that was, is, and is to come. Alright, so I'm the person that was, because I died. I'm back. I'm the person that is, and I'm the person that is to come. Okay. All this stuff is happening to me because of who I am. The dragon in Nibiru shows up 13 days before the Revelation 12s because of who I am. The Revelation star alignment happens because of who I am. The baby's born in my house because of who I am. Mary, angels, the God Eye, the anointing because of who I am. Angels and the angels bowing in front of me because of who I am. Demons and Satan attacking me because of who I am. The angel throws the crown at me because of who I am. It moves to the clouds in the sky because of who I am. The faces follow me. They watch and study me because of who I am. UFOs follow me and watch me and study because of who I am. Ascended masters like Yoda follow, watch, and study me because of who I am. Advanced races from the past follow, watch, and study my every move because of who I am. Jesus' heart made my face in the clouds with a crown over it because of who I am. The clouds mimicked me taking pictures of them because of who I am. Jesus forms in the clouds over my head on Easter because of who I am. It turned into a lion head wearing a crown because of who I am. You've seen God's face in the clouds in other countries spitting lightning at these people because of who I am. I have this birthmark on the side of me. These angels told me to look up my birthday and my birthmark because of who I am. All right? Merry Christmas, everybody. Something else we're gonna, whoops. We had more? Yes, now let's move even further. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among men. All right? The Word wasn't made cloud. The Word wasn't made a video. The Word wasn't made a movie. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among you. What makes you think it's any different this time? God is a living God, okay? That means, okay, you're alive. Your spirit is incarnate in a meat suit. That makes you alive, right? God is a living God, which means he's alive. In order to be alive, you have to be a spirit in a meat suit. That means God is a man incarnate right now. Jesus is the spring, the promise of new birth. It's not man's calendar, but a celestial calendar. The Word made flesh, dwelt among you. See? The one that was and died and it is again. The Word made flesh, walking around, you guys. Are some of you understanding the gift that I'm giving you this Christmas? Some of you will understand it, some of you won't. But for those of you that do, you are truly blessed. Yes, you're truly blessed. And what a gift. A gift better than gold, better than any riches. This is the gift that I give to you guys. I'm not trying to say, hey, everybody, look at me, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to give you, my audience, a gift. And there's your gift. You're looking at it right there. Okay. Now, let's do our reading, shall we? I heard that out there. Oh, this is getting good. All right. I need a sip before we start into this because I stumble when I don't have. All right. As you wait attentively in my presence, the light of the knowledge of my glory shines upon you. This radiant knowledge transcends all understanding. It transforms every fiber of your being, renewing your mind, cleansing your heart, and invigorating your body. Open yourself fully to my presence and be awed by my glorious being. Try to imagine what I gave up when I came into this world as a baby. I set aside my glory so that I could identify with mankind. I accepted the limitations of infancy under the most appalling conditions, a filthy stable. That was a dark night for me. Even though angels lit up the sky proclaiming glory to awestruck shepherds. When you sit quietly with me, the process I went through is reversed in your experience. As you identify with me, heaven's vistas open up before you, granting you a glimpse of my glory. I became poor so that you might become rich. Sing hallelujahs to my holy name, for I am the gift that continually gives, bounteously, with no strings attached. Unconditional love is such a radical concept that even most devoted followers fail to grasp it fully. Absolutely nothing in heaven or on earth can cause me to stop loving you. You may feel more loved when you are performing according to your expectations, but my love for you is perfect. Therefore, it is not subject to variation. What does vary is your awareness of my loving presence. When you are dissatisfied with your behavior, you tend to feel unworthy of my love. You may unconsciously punish yourself by withdrawing from me and attributing the distance between us to my displeasure. Instead of returning to me and receiving my love, you attempt to earn my approval by trying harder. All the while, I'm aching to hold you in my everlasting arms, to enfold you in my love. When you are feeling unworthy or unloved, come to me. Then ask for receptivity to my unfailing love. One more sip here. I'm about to really bust it out. Okay, hold on, here it comes. I am the Word that became flesh. I have always been and will always be. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. As you think about me as a baby, born in Bethlehem, do not lose sight of my divinity. This baby who grew up and became a man's Savior is also God Almighty. It could not have been otherwise. My sacrificial life and death would have been insufficient if I were not God. So rejoice that the Word, who entered the world as a helpless infant, is the same one who brought the world into existence. Though I was rich, for your sake I became poor, so that you might become rich. No Christmas present could ever compare with the treasure you have in me. I remove your sins as far from the east as from the west, freeing you from all condemnation. I gift you with unimaginable glory. I gift you with unimaginable, glorious life that will never end. The best response to this astonishing gift is to embrace it joyfully and gratefully. I'm on back you. Oh, computer wants to play games. All right, there it is. And you know what? Let's go back and change images for one last reading. You guys saw enough of my hairy armpit. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I know there's a lot of activity going on. All right. Here we go. There's my face in the clouds with the crown over it on Easter. I'm the greatest gift imaginable. When you have me, you have everything you need for this life and the next. I have promised to meet all your needs according to my glorious riches. Yet my loved ones sometimes fail to enjoy the riches I provide because of an ungrateful attitude. Instead of rejoicing in all that they have, they long for what they do not have. As a result, they become discontented. I am training you to practice the sacrifice of thanksgiving, thanking me in all circumstances. First, give thanks for the blessing you can see in your life. Then stop and ponder the awesome gift of knowing me. I am your living God, your loving Savior, your constant companion. No matter how much or how little you have in this world, your relationship with me makes you immeasurably rich. So whenever you are counting your blessings, be sure to include the infinite wealth you have in me. Add me into the equation, and your gratitude will grow exponentially. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot, huh, folks? All this time you've been watching this channel and listening to me and my reports, little did you know, some of you suspected, but now most of you know. This is for real. This ain't a joke. Okay? We got this new year coming up, 2024. Don't you think 24 is a special number to me? Yeah. We're going to see what happens here in 2024. My hand is moving. Okay? You can see it all around the world. I show it to you every night in the intros. Don't I? All right. I think that's it, you guys. I sure love all you guys, and I miss you all. I hope you received your gift. I hope you understand your gift. And when that happens, then you'll understand the blessing that I place upon you. Okay? You're truly blessed to have this knowledge. Okay? And I don't want to see my children die for lack of knowledge. And much like these faces in the clouds, the UFOs, the Ascended Masters, the advanced races, you guys are also watching, following, and studying me. Aren't you? You watch my videos, you subscribe, which is following. You study these images, you listen to my readings. That makes you guys disciples. Yeah, that makes you a real disciple. Pretty cool, huh? You guys are truly blessed, and I love you all. Merry Christmas. And tomorrow, just think all of this is real, and what a gift that you have. Okay? And I think that's it for tonight. Is that it, Lord? Okay, yeah. I think we're wrapping it up with that. That should have explained everything and connected the dots for you there. Okay? And yeah, Merry Christmas, you all. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I am back. Can't you tell?